And as you can see, we have a huge battle in the first heat of the round. Kolohe Andino up against Joel Parkinson. Then we're going to see Nat Young and Brett Simpson fight it out for a spot in the quarters. Vasco Ribeiro against Michel Perez. And Gabriel Medina now has to fight his way past Keanu Singh if he wants to keep his title hopes alive going into that final event. But this first heat is a good one. Kolohe Andino, the 21-year-old, definitely been one of the standouts of the contest so far, coming off the back of a solid round 4 performance.
So they're almost too wedgy and have too much power, so we'll see if he decides to boost.
Well, it looks like Joel Parkinson out the back with priority. He's got a bit of wall to work with here. Drives off the bottom. Nice top turn to get started. Another tight pocket, arcing manoeuvre, and he drives onto the inside. And he is just carving this wave to bits. Looking for a strong finish, belts the oncoming section, drifts the fins for a moment, and he's got to like the feel of that. As he continues to move right through the shore break now and finishes with a clean roundhouse right on the shoreline.
Well, Ronnie, you'd be familiar with a lot of the surf spots that Joel Parkinson's, gets to practice just south of where he lives. There's a lot of great wedges, and so this is going to feel very familiar for Joel Parkinson. And the reason why he milked that wave all the way shore is, take a look at that, just hop on the back of the sled, nice little ride back out. So good start for Joel Parkinson, should be a smooth score, solid mid-range, maybe even a 7s. There's that clean wrap that we want to see from Joel all afternoon. Can't get enough of that. And he's just getting warmed up. If he gets himself a little bit of a smoother face, he'll dig more of that rail in the water and really add some oomph to it. But clean finish there. And so this is a Joel Parkinson warm-up wave, but it's going to be a decent score.
Looking at that replay from the judge's perspective, as you mentioned, Joel does have a couple of waves at home that he can practice on that aren't too dissimilar to this wedge setup that we've got at the moment. Scores in from that opening exchange, Andino with a 5.5, Parkinson a 7.67. Well, Kolohe had a 5.5 on his opening ride, and here it is.
Really nice bottom turn into a clean carve for Kolohe. Just looking for this wave to behave a little bit. You can see there's a lot of bumps in the face, and that's why he was only able to do a couple of decent turns there. So the real difference is going to come in the form of a clean wall. If one of these guys can get a wave that allows them to do a couple of maneuvers on a clean face, that's when they can really pour it on.
But you can guarantee he's going to put in a big effort in the Triple Crown this season.
Yeah, that's big. Winning a QS Tour is not easy. You got to take out a lot of youngsters that are just absolutely ripping, so he's psyched.
Joel Parkinson without priority. Swings on this one, gets caught behind for a moment, but finds the open face, throws his board vertically, finds a big oncoming section, and lets go of a smooth turn. A clean finish, nothing mind-blowing, but some solid surfing in tricky conditions. As Andino uses priority, but he's going to kick out. No shoulder on that, well, too much shoulder on that wave, I should say. No wall to work with for him.
I really liked those 2 turns from Joel. There's absolutely not even close to an edge caught. Really clean rails on those 2 turns, so this is going to be a great backup score for Joel.
We had Kelly Slater talking about different approaches to strategy for heats. He said sometimes a competitor can go out there and just jab away. It seems like Joel's jabbing at the moment, and Kolohe might need a knockout punch coming into the final stages of this heat.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, look at the texture on the water. It is very stormy out there, so to be able to surf this clean takes so much skill. Joel timed those maneuvers perfectly. He didn't rush anything. He didn't try and outpower it. You're not going to be able to do that today. There's so much power with the swell. Just alone the swell is really strong, but you get that refraction off the wall. It makes this wave behave twice as strong as normal. So for Joel to manage all that speed, and again, have those clean rails, just click those 2 maneuvers very tidy.
We've seen some pretty big numbers drop for 2-turn combinations throughout the event, and even through some of those earlier heats this morning. Do you think we're going to see a solid score here?
It depends how frisky the judges get, but I think those maneuvers weren't crazy risky. It was just really nice. So, I would think it's going to fall in the high 7s, maybe an 8, but, it was definitely beautiful.
Well, we were talking about Joel's results on the championship tour just moments ago, the fact that this is one of his worst performances, but he's got that world title. And it's something that can't be taken away from him, obviously, but also a number of runner-up finishes on the championship tour. At one point, I think everyone was saying he was probably the best surfer on tour without a world title. Not anymore. And at the moment, he's looking pretty good. In the first heat of round 5, his second score has come through, a 5.17. So now a bit of pressure for Kolohe. Effort with some big backhand air reverses in the last heat of round 3 was huge too. But just under 2 minutes remaining, and Andino picks off a set wave. Big first turn, a floating re-entry. Let's see if he can find some more opportunity on the inside. He sticks with it. And that wave's going to shut down with just a minute and a half remaining. He needs a big number, a 7.35.
So that's the trick with these wedges. You know, you get these overgrown side waves that really make this wave so strong and grow in size, but sometimes it can go against you. You can see that thing was really converging together. It gave him that one opportunity to hit the lip, but it was drastic. You know, it wasn't really a wave that was user-friendly. So he just kind of places his board. You can see him waiting for that section to back off and just kind of tags it. But because it's so wild and has so much energy, he wasn't able to really fight that lip. He just was more kind of trying to survive. There's so much power.
Always executes those turns with plenty of style. But Joel's going to have to watch these little insiders because Andino, he's got that firepower. He can go to the air. He's got a little insider. Trying to find a ramp now. As he drives into the lip, he throws the reverse. He's going to ride out. Chasing a 7.35 and still going. He might get another opportunity here as this wave unloads on the shoreline. Clean little float. Andino did everything he could on that wave to fetch the number, and we'll see what the judges think.
Well, I think Kolohe's body language, it says it all. I think, you know, it was an insider. Maybe if he got one more air reverse on an inside instead of that floater, it could have gone there, but my guess is just because the wave was a little bit on the smaller side, it won't go there.
Needs a 7.35. Is the body language telling the story here?
Well, he's definitely doesn't have his business suit on. He's not selling it. No fist pumps. But I like the surfing. There's no real mistakes on this wave. Pretty cool that he got one more shot at it. That's a pretty clean carve for Kolohe. He's just waiting for this thing to reform, get more, you know, a cleaner shape. Clicks a nice little reverse right there. So that, you know, that was better than average. You know, it was a nice little reverse. But keep in mind this wave. See, right here is the little floater. Had he finished with one more ramp, then I'm thinking, okay, we're game on here for a 7.35. But again, you know, my guess is it won't get there.
Joel Parkinson sweating on the number. Kolohe Andino has just put a 5.17 on the board. Joel Parkinson is moving through to the quarterfinals. When we come back, Nat Young and Brett Simpson fight it out for a place in quarterfinal number 2.